All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Carl, and this is my partner in crime, Philip. And today we'll be talking to you about some new intelligent people experiences that are primarily designed to help you maintain and build your relationships with the people that you interact with at work. And so more specifically, we'll talk about 4 key features. The first one we call highlights. Highlights is essentially features that helps you find out interesting nuggets of insights and information about the people that you interact with directly within their profile. So whenever you hover or click on a person, you'll get some interesting insights that are being sourced from My Analytics, from the Microsoft Graph, from the LinkedIn Graph, directly within the products that you use every day, like Outlook. Next, we'll talk about another feature called Topics. Topics is essentially a simple way to help you essentially populate your profile, your people card, with things that you work on, the projects you work on, the things that you're interested in, and that way everyone else can see what you're working on. So imagine being able to view a profile, someone's profile, and simply looking at their contact panel and being able to see all the projects that they're working on. And imagine being able to search for a project and then being able to see a list of people that work on that particular project. Next, we'll talk about inferred contact information. So automatically, without you having to do anything, we'll infer contact information of all the people that you interact with by simply extracting information from email signatures and other places like LinkedIn. And lastly, we'll talk a little bit about new admin controls that will help you stay in control of the experiences that you want your employees to experience within your organizations. So without further ado, let's jump right in with demos. So this is going to be a little bit tricky because I have to use one hand to do my demo. So bear with us if ever it's a bit slow. So for the sake of the demo, imagine that I'm someone called Irvin, and I'm essentially a new hire in this company called Contoso Electronics. And I'll be working on this project called Mark 8. It's a drone, I've actually been hired about 3-4 weeks ago. I've been working on a couple of documents, exchanging emails with people, and so on and so forth. But this new project that I'm being handed over by a person, Adele, Adele actually sent me, yes, you don't see my screen. Give me 1 second. Let me escape this. Yeah. There we go. All right, so here I am. I'm in Outlook, I'm signed in as Irvin, and what you see here is an email that I've opened, which is actually a meeting invite from my colleague Adele. And her name actually rings a bell. Her picture also rings a bell, but I can't seem to remember where from. I can hover or click on her name, and just at a glance, I can see her profile. And at the very top of this profile, I see that there's something called a highlight. This highlight is actually being sourced right from LinkedIn. And because I'm bound, I've actually connected my AD, my work account with my LinkedIn account. I get to see intelligent nuggets of information about the people that I work with and that I interact with. And so here, for instance, I'm reminded that we both actually went to the same school, and that's how we know each other. I can learn more about Adele simply by clicking on any LinkedIn button within the profile, and within the product, I can see at glance a preview of what she has listed on her LinkedIn profile. I can see any highlights and things we have in common, her experience, and of course her education. If I want to delve into her LinkedIn profile further, I can of course go to LinkedIn just by clicking the button at the bottom of the expanded view of her profile. And so just like that, I got a lot more information about who Adele is just by hovering or clicking on her name. And this actually makes me wonder, what does my profile look like when others hover on my name? So let's go ahead and hover on Irvin. This is me. And what you see here is actually a much less rich profile experience for Irvin. Remember, I'm a new hire. I haven't really engaged with this experience at all. And in fact, I don't even have a photo. So I'm actually reminded of the fact that I don't have a photo with the same framework that you saw earlier that reminded me of the same education that I have with Adele. For instance, here I can see that I can very quickly and easily upload a profile picture for others to see. I click on upload a new photo, I select my photo, I hit apply to upload it, and I click done. And there you go. And just to make sure it propagates everywhere, I'm gonna click refresh, and within seconds, you'll see my photo appear everywhere across all of Microsoft 365. So I'm gonna hover on my profile again to make sure it's here. Yes, it's here, it's uploaded. And what you see here is the highlight that we saw earlier reminding me that I don't have a photo has been updated with another highlight that says strengthen your profile by adding topics you're working on. I'm curious to understand a little bit more what that entails. So I click on add topics, I'm led to the expanded view of my profile. And under this section called Ask Me About, I can see that I can add topics to my profile. I'm curious to learn more about the feature. And so I can actually either type in any topics that I want to hear that I'm working on or projects I'm working on, or actually see suggested topics that are being inferred and extracted from Project Cortex. So essentially, we're mining data based on all the interactions that you're making and trying to detect keywords and project names that we think you're working on, and surfacing that only to you as suggestions to make it very easy to keep your profile up to date with the latest projects you're working on. And so just like this, with a simple click, I can add suggestions to my profile. For instance, I am working on Mark 8 and will be. I can add Atlas, Delta, and so on and so forth. I can also type any project name. So let's say I'm going to be working on the landing gear of the drone. Hit enter, and just like that, automatically, by hitting enter, everything gets saved. There's no edit toggle, there's no save button. It's super easy and seamless to do that right within your profile. And so I'm curious to see what this looks like. I can go to the overview tab here and actually see what people will see on my profile just by going to the overview tab. I hit X to go out, and in the meeting invite, I also see that Adele invited my manager, Lee Gu. So I hover on his name, and I actually notice that at the top of his profile, I'm reminded of something that I told him I would do. This is super useful. This was actually extracted from an email we've exchanged. I actually told him a couple of days ago that I'll be reviewing and signing all the onboarding documents and sending it to him the next day. And so just like that, I can keep track of all the latest and greatest commitments that I've done to every single person I interact with by viewing their profile. This reminder actually reminds me that I have to look up someone that works in HR that knows about employee benefits. And so to do that, what I can do is simply go to Bing and search for, let's say, experts in employee benefits. Now let's take the suggestion here. And because I'm signed in with my work account, as you can see here at the top right, I'm signed in as Irvin with my work account. I can see essentially a result page that splits out results into two sections. The top, which is all the organization results, and the bottom, which is the public results that we all have access to. The top actually shows me a list of people that actually have added employee benefits to their profile. And just like that, I can very quickly and easily find anyone who's added a project to their profile by simply searching for them via Bing or Microsoft Search across all of our products. And so with that, I'll hand it over to Philip to talk a little bit more about the rest of the features.
Thank you very much, Carl. So I'm just going to switch over. So here you can see our Microsoft offices in Norway, very picturesque. It's not really our Microsoft offices in Norway. So just going to switch gears a little bit. So in this demo, I've worked in the company for a couple of years. And let's pretend that I've been at a huge conference like Ignite for a week. I'm coming back to the office, and I have a bunch of emails to catch up with. So you can see here there's a lot of important, there's a lot of urgent, there's a payroll. We'll get to that in a second. But on top, we can see that I have a new colleague, Irvin, that we were just introduced to a few seconds ago. So I'm curious to see who this Irvin guy is. So I can just open his card. Looks very much like you. And can scroll through, I can see his LinkedIn information, some emails that he sent, and also I can see that he is going to be working on this Mark 8 project that we've been talking to. Now that's pretty interesting to me because I've been working on the Mark 8 and I've been working on it together with Irvin's boss, Lee. So I can see that Lee still has the Mark 8 noted, and if you've seen this presented earlier today, you know that we have a new thing called topic pages. And wouldn't it be great if just with one click I could go and see all the new information that we have about this Mark 8 project. So let's give it a try and just click here. And boom, there we have it, the new topic pages about the Mark 8. So this we are introducing at Ignite. So this is, think of it as a wiki which contains a lot of inferred and edited content about topics. So on top we have an overview pulled from a Word document. We have some people who are working on the project. We have files and other resources. And we even have a little topic graph on the bottom that shows how this project relates to our other projects. So that's a great way of getting an overview and catching up once you're coming back to the project after a week at Ignite. So going back to my email, I see that something which is very common at these conferences, you meet a lot of people, you exchange a business card, and you send emails back and forth, and you start to have to collate all this stuff when you get back to your workplace. So here I got this email from a guy I met at the conference called Thomas. Now, note two things. This is the first communication digitally I've ever had with Thomas. Also note that he's been very diligent in creating a nice email signature. So watch what happens when I hover on his contact card. So this is the best a contact card has ever looked for somebody that I've basically never met before. From top to bottom, we have a profile picture, which we pulled from LinkedIn, his title, his company, and we even copied over the contact information from his email signature. So if you see in the bottom, there's some contact information here. I can click on that. And we have a little tidbit that says that all of this information was pulled from his email, and I can just add to contacts. And now this is saved everywhere, so I have access to it on all my devices, on all platforms. So that was inferred contacts. Now, finally, I want to come to something that a lot of people have been asking about, and it's the ability to edit what we see on the card. So in Microsoft, we've taken some of the most common properties in profiles and added them like email and chat and work phone and so forth. But we know that a lot of companies want and desire the ability to add their own custom properties. So previously, you've had the possibility to go and edit this on Outlook Desktop through the registry settings. But this year, we're announcing that you can now go in and edit it through tenant settings, so it will be available on all devices on all platforms. So in this example, I've edited, for instance, my cost center, which a lot of companies are interested in, and also my employee ID. And we'll be talking more about that in a session on Thursday, so be sure to visit that if you want to know more.
We're not done. He's just transitioning over.
So that's the end of the demo. So let me just briefly sum up what we showed you here today. We talked about highlights, which is a quick and easy way to stay on top of your network to see what is happening around you. This is currently in targeted release and will be available over the next month. We talked about topics, and in particular topic pages, which we announced today, and being able to add and showcase what you're working on and see what people around you are working on. We also talked about, and this we are testing out with some customers now, and will be making more and more available over the next year. We talked about inferred contacts, which is an easy way to see all the data we've collected about you through your emails and through LinkedIn. And this is also in targeted release. And finally, we talked about admin customizations, which allows you to choose what properties you show about your employees in your own company. And this will be in target release by the end of the year. So just a brief note on some related sessions. If you want to learn more about customization of profiles, we have a session on Thursday, and we're going to have a lot of talk about topics which you've probably already seen, but here are some more sessions to see if you are more interested in that topic. If you have some questions, we'll be happy to take them now. Otherwise, come visit us at the booth at the Modern Workplace, Modern Life over in the other center. And if not, thank you very much for your attention. I think we have time for some questions, if there are any. Otherwise, you can just come and talk to us after. Where?
So is the LinkedIn information available through Graph API?
Sir?
Is the LinkedIn information available through Graph API?
That's a great question that I don't have the answer to, but I'm happy to follow up with an answer.
More questions? All right, thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you.